If I could turn back time, da-da. If I could sell the top, da-da. Welcome, people, to another episode of the Suppoman Show. Here with me, the Suppoman, live from the Church of Suppotology, coming to you with a crypto mass to deliver honest messaging about what I believe is happening in this crypto market currently. Are we doomed? Are we headed towards 20k? Are we now transitioning into a bear market? That is the question everybody is asking right now. And Suppoman is going to be giving you the answer to that, the superhero of cryptocurrency. So, if you want to gain the insights from a cryptocurrency teacher that has been in cryptocurrency 4 years, has seen the dips, has seen the rises, has seen the manipulation, has seen the games that whale play, and make sure you smash a like on this cryptocurrency video. Make sure that you subscribe to Team Suppo. Be part of the congregation, the most educated in the cryptocurrency retail investor space, and hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on lives, because sometimes you're going to need these lives to pull you through. So there we are, people, there we are. So let us pray. Right, who have we got in the chat today? Let me do, well, you know what I'm going to do. I don't need to say it every blooming time. All right, so I'm just going to share this. And just to arouse those that may be on Twitter and want to gain a little bit of mental strength and positivity. So we got Digital Sakura, Robin, Akib, Eugene, Noreen, Saeed, Lucas, Craig, Yassine, Gideon, Chris, Sherman, Babak, Josh, William, Naeem, Cody, Dan, Michael, BTC Motivation, Roberto, Sarjad, Severns, Anzaza, Lindsay Clark, Robin, USA Local SEO, Liam, Oaze, Colour Startup, Lindsay Gardner, Secondhand Sandwich, David, Crow 8, Thierry, Colour with Courtney, Raf, Carl, Coral, Crypto Brazil, Angie, Ali, Red for Danger, Katie Watt, Eugene. All of you guys are all turning up in the house. You all need to have a little bit of Suppo inspiration. So, Suppo must start, right? Suppo must start. So here we go. Here we go, people. Are we moving into a bear market? Do you want me to give you the TLDR, whatever it's called? Do you want me to give you the short story? No. I'm not going to do that, because all people are going to say is, oh, you just said this. No, let me give you some rationale. Let me give you some logic. Okay, so where are we at? So what happened the other day? We remember 2 days ago that we saw Bitcoin essentially sink from the $40,000 zone. In fact, it has sunk very recently from the $50,000 zone, sank into the $40,000 zone, and then breached, depending on which graph you're looking at, the 30,000 zone. Now, it breached it for literally seconds. Like, within a minute, the price went from 30 to 35k, right? Essentially bounced straight up. And then what we did have is alts just crashing down along with Bitcoin. And we have seen Ethereum, we have seen Cardano, we have seen Solana, we have seen Matic, we have seen Binance Coin. Every single cryptocurrency has been a victim, no matter how bullish people have been, no matter how strong they have performed as individual currencies, they have all absolutely tanked, right? Some more than others. And the altcoin space is where particularly if you go low down in the caps in the altcoin space, is where the greatest risk is and where you probably see the greatest dips on a day-to-day basis. But anyway, that is essentially what happened. What we had, in my opinion, is we had a wick-off distribution, right? Which has played out textbook. You know, the lines on every Bitcoin graph I have seen, in essence, corresponds with the lines here, right? And as I have already said to you, one of the objectives, the main objective of the Wyckoff method, is to essentially establish a position in anticipation of a coming move where favorable reward and risk ratio exists. So what that means is that a whale, and whales are the ones that are in control and the ones that want to benefit the most in most financial markets, but particularly with a toddler like cryptocurrency, okay, where they can manipulate it much easier than other financial markets, right? So a favorable risk-reward ratio does not exist at 50k, right? Let's assume that the price of Bitcoin, the top of the market, let's say the top of the bull market would be 130k. If a whale gets in at, let's say, 56k, which the price was on May the 12th, if they got in at 56k, what's that, a 2x? Why would they care about a 2x, right? So by essentially bringing the price back down to 30, then they have a 4 to 5x potential gain for their money, for lots and lots of money. When we're talking about whales, we are not talking about a few 100,000 or a couple of million. We're talking about billions. We are talking about billions. Because cryptocurrency is a billionaire's playground. It's an absolutely perfect scenario for them to be able to make boatloads and boatloads of money like they have been all the years that cryptocurrency has been going on. Now, anyway, so I have taken you through what has happened. So, essentially, a more favorable position for whales can be achieved at 30k, hence why the price dipped to 30 or late 20s and bounced essentially straight away. Because can you imagine the amount of orders that would have been needed to take it to that, you know, to go up 5,000 in minutes? The amount in orders. They would have essentially had to replicate a lot of the daily volume in just those whale orders to be able to make it spike like that. And then what happened the day after? Well, what happened the day after is that Bitcoin went up to nearly 43k. Right? So that just shows you that something was achieved. Something was achieved. Right? Now, I said on the morning, if you follow me on Twitter, you would have seen I said on the morning that just before Bitcoin crashed 10k, I said on the morning, I said somebody important must be coming on board for this. Right? And then what happened literally hours later? Smash. It all went down. And then back up. Then down and back up. That is what happens when somebody is looking for a position. That's what happens if you do trading on Binance or any of the exchanges, then you will see that typically is what happens. Right? When something drops and then a big buy order comes in, bang, the price goes up and it goes bananas. Right? And that is what happened in the immediate future after the big tanking to 30k. Now what we have got is we have got a period where there is some resistance. Okay, so there is resistance at this level at $42,000. Okay, that is where the wicks kind of go up to. I have summarized this into daily, so it doesn't look as if the wicks actually sit on the trend line properly. But this is essentially the level at which there is resistance. It's a flat level, and there is resistance. And then at the bottom, we have got a trend going upwards. Okay, so it looks like it's trying to form essentially an ascending wedge. Right, now, I have drawn comparisons with what happened in 2017. I have drawn comparisons with the last Wyckoff distribution, which I did in essentially on the day that Wyckoff distribution played out completely. Right, so here we go. This is 2017. Now let me show you what happened. Right? So if we equate, essentially if we use almost like pro rata, right? If we equate the prices back in 2017 to prices today, this is essentially 27,000 and up here is essentially 50,000, right? So what happened is although it's 2,700 and it's 5,000. But if we use it, equate it to today's money, that is essentially very, very similar to what happened recently. Okay, back in 2017 is very similar to what happened recently, only condensed into a much shorter space of time. right? So what happened is the price went from 2,700, 5,100, and then it went right back down to 2,800. Okay, so that was the Wyckoff distribution. Without going too much into detail how it replicates the Wyckoff distribution graph, it went down to essentially back to its point of origin, virtually. Now, the next day, if we assume that the bottom point is 28,000, just like we assume the bottom point of 2 days ago was 30,000, then the price went up to 40,300, okay? So it basically bounced and gained $1,200 here, or $12,000 if we're equating it to today's money. So it replicated. So what happened yesterday when the market recovered from the day before was exactly the same thing. 29,000 all the way up to 42 is pretty much exactly the same recovery from the bottom. But then what happened? Okay, so it wicked up to 40, but actually the body of the candle shows where the lion's share of the value was for that day. And you can see it's in the mid 30,000. And then you got it more here. The kind of the mid, you got it here. You got a trend line running for essentially 2 weeks. So if we see it from the 15th of September, I don't know if you can see it. Let me just move it over here. From the 15th of September all the way through to when it actually broke out, the 27th. That is 12 days. 12 days of uncertainty. So although initially it wicked above, okay, it wicked above this trend line, actually there was resistance at around about the 40,000 if we equate it. So it's 4,000, but 40,000. It was resistance at that point, and then there was an upwards trend line where it was forming an ascending wedge, and you could see that the price was moving up. The price incrementally every day was starting from a higher point. So it was essentially higher lows, right? So that is what was happening. Although there was uncertainty for a 12-day period where there was no real recovery out of this range here. Now, we have started very, very similarly in this range here. Okay, now it looks as if it is having an ascending wedge formation, but we're only 2 days in from the bottom. So it's very, very early days. So we have to watch it kind of play out, and there is uncertainty. Very much like what happened here. If we look in the detail, like we can't go back to this point, right? But there was very similar emotions. Like I remember at the time that people were thinking that this is the end of the rises, that this is going to, what we had back here, what we had in August, where we had an splendid August. This August was absolutely incredible. The money being made was absolutely astronomical. And everybody was really bullish, and everybody was thinking very bullishly, just like they were a week ago. Like a week ago, everybody was still like saying, oh, we're going to go up to 50, 60, 70k, 80k. We're making a move to that. But the sentiment has completely turned, right? And the reason why is because we have essentially entered anguish, right? So or anxiety. So we have popped out of it, but we haven't at the same time. We are kind of popping out of it. Like, we popped out of it at 40k. So when we went down to what eventually, kind of was consistent on Wednesday, it was kind of like went up to about 37. But this would have been much deeper into anxiety. And then it bounced obviously yesterday. The price went up to about 43k. And the sentiment just kind of rose outside of anguish or anxiety and went back into belief. All right. So, but today, seeing as though we are back essentially at mid-30s, we are back here, right? We are essentially right back in anxiety. And what happens in anxiety? People get anxious. People are fearing the worst. People are thinking, I wish I'd sold the top. People are thinking, I wish I'd sold my cryptocurrencies earlier. Instead of dollar cost buying, I should have been dollar cost selling, and all this stuff, right? Very, very similar sentiment, because I can remember so vividly exactly how people were feeling at this point. The China FUD took quite a lot of time to go away, and people were still reading from it. People were still thinking it's going to go much lower. It's going to go to 1,000. It's going to go to 0. Very, very similar bearish, upset, negative emotions. And then what happened once it broke out? Basically, once it broke out, my goodness me, it was absolutely cathartic. It was unbelievable. It was one of the most incredible periods I remember as a YouTuber, to be fair. Almost as good as this period now for me as a YouTuber. But anyway, so what I'm trying to say is that, I mean, you can almost relatively expect an element of positivity from me because, you know, you can expect it from me because I'm experienced. I've seen lots of dips and I have seen how they've played out. And I like to be a person of positivity because somebody needs to be. Because if you think about it, you know, when the way for whales to make money in this environment would be on getting people worried and selling, and then they make money from people selling, right? Additionally, if people were to all of a sudden be very, very bullish, then they would feel a sentiment needs to change, and there would need to be another outburst of FUD and a outspread of FUD. And so people would get their longs liquidated or whatever. They want to make the market suit themselves. So at this point, that is this period. Okay, that is this period where we are still kind of reeling emotionally from what has happened in the last couple of days. Okay, and this is a period where it's going to be a bit of a playground of emotions. You know, basically the whales are like almost like, you know, if you think about, if you kind of picture this, okay? Imagine this image, right? Just imagine a rich billionaire is in his nice, I don't know, Rolls Royce, and he has this carrot on a string that he leaves behind his car. And then you've got a retail investor that's like chasing the carrot, and then the whale who is holding the carrot, he says to his driver, drive slowly. And as he's driving away, the carrot is slowly moving away from the retail investor. And the dumb retail investor is like trying to catch it. That is what happens in cryptocurrency. The whales play with the retail money. And really, if you don't do anything, then that is when you're probably going to actually achieve the most, right? Because a lot of people, what they try to do is they try to anticipate what's happening without any real knowledge, without any real experience, and they start selling, and that is what is happening right now. You know, if we have a look in the market right now, that is exactly what is happening. A lot of selling is going on, and I would say that the severity of this, I mean, if you have a look at it, like Ethereum has been 2,800 today, and now it's 2,300. Binance was $400 this time yesterday, now it's $300. You know, Cardano was, well, it has been over $2, and various cryptocurrencies have really, really tanked. And the reason why is really because, well, in my opinion anyway, I'm not going to sit here and say it is absolutely the case. But the reason why, in my opinion, is because we have had a huge amount of new people coming into cryptocurrency that have been burned and have to learn, like we all learn, by buying high, selling low. and then they learn from that. They realize how stupid they were, when eventually what could be the case, and what I imagine will be the case, is that we are going to see, as the Wyckoff strategy is all about, we're going to see a coming move, where a favorable reward-risk ratio exists. Now, something that is slightly different, and I do acknowledge this, between this market today and the market as it was back in 2017, is that back in 2017, we didn't really have leverage trading. We didn't really have long shorts and all that. We had mainly spot prices. So that is a key difference between the two markets, right? It's the same market, different dynamics. Okay, so there is potentially slight money to be made in causing liquidations, either on the long or on the short. Right? There is going to be periods where people are bullish, and then there's money to be made for the whales on on liquidating longs, and then there's going to be times when everybody is wanting to short it, and then they're going to get liquidated. So I never get involved in leverage trading. That is why I like to take good buy positions. I like to get involved at what I call bulletproof prices, which is essentially getting involved in prices which are unlikely to be seen again. And this market has offered them up. You know, and that is really the position I take. If I like cryptocurrency, if it meets with my criteria, then I will take a long-term play. And if I take a long-term play, then it means that I am not worried about the short term. You know, what is happening right now really exposes people's perspective of the short term. People's want for instant gratification in the short term. Like, a lot of my money has been made from long-term speculation, not from short-term. Like, people are chasing gains tomorrow. They are wanting gains, and they are wanting instant success. They are wanting to be millionaires tomorrow. And I can tell you right now that for out of 100 people, 2 will be instant successes, like the person that bought Shiba Inu $500, held it, made $1 million. That there's going to be 2 of those people out of 90, out of 100 people, and the rest of them are going to be failure stories, right? And the only way to mitigate that is by hodling for the long term and not be too despondent by the short term. Because if you're despondent by the short term, then essentially you just get kind of shaken out, like people did in these periods here, like this period where it looked like there was health. People just get shaken out, and you it's very, very easy if you're part of a cryptocurrency forum to feel this element of to feel this this kind of collaborative feeling of it's all going wrong, it's all going down, we're gonna hit 20k. Now, I will say this, that from my perspective, the wick-off distribution has played out pretty much exactly as expected. 30k back to 30k, despite doubling in size in that period 3 times. And it's gone back to 30k. Where I imagine the pattern breaks is if we retest and go down towards 20. Now, I do feel that is a potential. That is where the potential to worry may occur. But even then, it could be a short-term worry. Like, there's 2 ways for a retail investor to profit now, and that is in derivatives and spot market, right? Anyway, let me just have a look. So daily moving averages, right? So you've got the 50-day and the 200-day. This is what potentially signals a bear market, right? And a bear market happens when the 50-day goes under the 200-day. All right. The last time that it happened with significant volume to back it up was in March 2018, and really, if over the next month or so the prices go down considerably, then the 50-day average will be tremendously negatively affected, which could lead to a crossover, which could basically mean there we are. But as far as I'm concerned, if we go back and have a look, may not necessarily be as easy to follow on here. Let me just add, if I can, what happened here, because as far as I remember, there was a slight closeness between the 50-day and 200-day in the last time we had a wick-off distribution. So let me just, while I'm live, see if I can plot this out for you. If I could turn back time, if I could sell the top. Right. 50 and then 200. What's my style? My style? I guess you could call it the art of fighting without fighting. Right, okay, so here we go. So, yeah, it may not... should be relevant, but essentially you can see here that you see like a condensing and then a widening, condensing and then a widening. When it goes up, then it stretches the chasm between the two, and then when it goes down, it brings it closer. It's a very natural look for it to curve back towards the 200, the 50 to kind of bend towards the 200. But that does not necessarily mean that it is going to cross over. All right, so we have to kind of wait and see how it plays out. That's all we really can see. But as far as I'm concerned, you know, my personal prediction is that we have not completed the cycle. Now, my personal prediction is we have not gone full scale for euphoria. We slightly touched it, but we didn't actually hit euphoria. Like, we did not see Bitcoin in a euphoria stage. We didn't see altcoins in a euphoria stage. What we had was essentially an altcoin season and a Bitcoin season part one. We saw it in December and then across kind of January and February for the alts. So mainly it was December, January for Bitcoin, and then it was January, February for alts. And that was like the part one. And when you've got a market cycle, then what you typically have is you have the blow off top at the end. You have the big euphoria stage. Everything up to that is the lead up to euphoria stage. So we did not complete the cycle. It has not happened this bull market, where it has happened in every other bull market. Every other bull market, we have hit euphoria, like without fail. And we haven't yet touched that. And that signals to me that there's been no real advantage made for whales. There's not been. Like, the euphoria stage is the real time for the whales to make the huge money. Like, that is when the whales make the huge money. It is in euphoria. They make it through Bitcoin and then speculating in altcoins from large to micro cap. Right? And that's where they make the big blow off tops in all of the cryptocurrencies, every single cryptocurrency, before they then make money from the leverage trading side throughout a bear market, if people even want to. Right? So it has not happened yet. So either two things, right? So either we are waiting for another blow off top, we are waiting for another euphoria stage like that's happened to conclude every other bull market, which we haven't yet had. We got close to it, yes, but we didn't actually achieve it. Not to an extent where Bitcoin made such a sizable gain for whales from, the high point of the last bull market to the high point of this bull market. It has not been a sizable enough gain. Like, if you think about it, like in 2013, the blow off top happened at like $1,200, right? And then the blow off top in the last one was at 20,000. That's a whole 20x difference, right? And then if we go back here to 2011, the blow off top then was like $23, which compared with $1,200 is once again, what, like a 50x difference. So there has not been a sizable difference between the price of Bitcoin at the end of the last bull market to the top of its price in this bull market. Like 20 to 64 is rubbish. 3x, rubbish. There's way more movement to the upside, like 130k to actually achieve euphoria. So either we are waiting for the conclusion of the bull market, that's one scenario, or the other scenario, in my opinion, is we are going to stretch out the bull market. Okay, that is another scenario where it actually may not just be a big blow off top at the end, but actually a series of peaks and troughs where we go forward 2 steps, back 1 step, forward 2 steps, back 1 step, and we just keep doing that until, maybe for 2 or 3 years. But what I will say is that how it's very, very funny how everybody's opinions have slightly changed now. Like, I remember a couple of months ago, maybe a month ago, that people were saying, oh, this time it's going to be different. This time, this market, cryptocurrency, this time is going to be different. We're going to have a 7-year bull market. It's going to be different this time because we have got universal acceptance. We've got whales getting into it. It's a much stronger asset than it ever was. And now it's almost like it's not even strong enough to have a decent bull market like previous bull markets. So it's funny how the sentiment changes and how people are very, very negatively affected by what happens with price. And that is why I have my exit strategies and why I've tried to share my exit strategies with you, which is where it's all about when you achieve the multipliers that are part of your strategy, your own personal strategy, you sell no matter what. I sell my linear at 100x no matter what. Not all of it, obviously. I sell my Bitmax at 100x no matter what. Not all of it, obviously, but took massive amounts of profits down the line. Because you can't be too greedy in these times. Because cryptocurrency, like people's emotions, hang on a dime. Like, they're literally, it's like walking on a tightrope. Like, 1 minute you can be the happiest, the most positive, the most confident person ever and think, yes, the market is going to be 100k Bitcoin, the market is going to be 10 trillion or 15 trillion market cap. And then the next day, you, the same person that thought these feelings, could be like, oh, right, the market is going to lose 90% of its value. Bitcoin's going to go to 10k and altcoins, that's it. It's over. It's over for altcoins. And everything's changed. I hate life. I hate cryptocurrency. I'm going to sell. That is why you have got to be very unemotional in cryptocurrency. You've got to be a fan, obviously. Things have got to meet your criteria. You've got to find things that are exciting, whether that be shit coins or fundamentally good coins. And then you have got to decide exit points and take those. No matter if I say to you, oh, I think this coin is going to 100x or 400x or whatever. Like, don't just think, right, okay, if Suppo says that's going to happen, Suppo says Matic's going to go to $5, $10, right, I'm not going to sell till $10. You have got to be taking profits. You've got to be selling your initials anyway, not as in your name initials, but your initial stakes after 3x, and then whatever you kind of are wanting out of it, you've got to then sell your lion's share when you hit whatever x. Okay, but as far as I'm kind of going off topic, but what I'm trying to say is that I don't think that there is an option for a bear market. Out of my options, I don't think there's an option for a bear market. There is an option for a downtrend, a temporary bear market, but that does not mean it's a bear market. It means it's just temporarily bearish. And that is where I think we are at. And you've just got to kind of have a sense of have a sense of reality and think logically about cryptocurrency and think to yourself, maybe I've let my emotions run away with me. I think that maybe it isn't all doom and gloom. So anyway, let me just take some questions in the interim because I'm conscious I haven't actually addressed any of you guys. So Dave Mids, thank you for the 50 euros. That is a very generous super chat. Young Pretender, damn it, promised the wife I would watch a film tonight, so this will be a replay for me. Expecting calming bedtime soothing messages later. Not from me, I've been very animated, haven't I? Relax and heal. Hey Suppo, can you share some updated thoughts on a few listed coins that have an 100x potential for this bull run? I think, and this is where my mentality comes in, because there various people have opinions, right? The opinions are like arseholes. Everyone has them, all right? You just may not want to listen to it, right? Now, my personal opinion, and this is what I am listening to, because ultimately, I am my own person. I have got experience, and I can tell you that I am buying, even if it's dipping. Now I know that there's memes going around where it's like bought the dip and then it goes down, bought the dip, then it goes down, bought the dip, then it goes down. Right? Yeah, I know that all that stuff makes sense. But actually, if you think about all those dip opportunities that happen for altcoins, then actually in this bull market, you'd probably be in profit by now on a long-term basis. But anyway, going back, I am buying at various price points, right? I am buying at what I perceive to be bulletproof price points. So if I just have a look now at my watch list, which may or may not actually be public, I don't know. CoinMarketCap does tend to do these things. Most of the coins on this watch list, I think, have a potential for 100x. Not all of them, but some of them. Like, for instance, PolkaSwap is on this list. Wow. Right, I'm not missing it this time. Look at that. 45% in convergence. We are going right down. If we just go and have a look at the 24-hour... DeFi network is number one at 51%. And then convergence is 3.5. You see, I bought... And this is my mentality, and how my mentality is what it is, and it's very unique in cryptocurrency. But I bought at 6.7 cents. I didn't get into the idea of this. I bought at 6.7 cents, and it went up from that point. And I was like, right, I'm not going to buy anymore. I bought at 6.5 cents. It ran away from me, right? And although I've been very bullish, I've spoken about convergence nearly every video. It ran away from me, and I just waited until such a thing would happen, patiently waiting for if such a thing would happen. Now, I bought this again when this achieved 6.2, but you haven't got me thinking, right, I've bought it at 6.5, I bought it at 6.2, and now it's at 3.5. Essentially, my money is half. I could have got it for half off. You have not got me saying that, right? And the reason why you've not got me saying that is because when I see this, I see it as an opportunity. What I see when I see this and this is I see this, okay? And I have got now a fresh ability to take a position in anticipation of a coming move. So the whales have done me a favor. I don't see this as, oh, the whales have burnt me. They've taken down Bitcoin. It's brought all altcoins down. It's rinsed the value out of a lot of altcoins. And I am now 50% down on my buy price of convergence. I am not seeing it that way. What I see it as is essentially I am now able to get a fresh position in anticipation of a coming move. That is why I take profits, because at times like this, I can then plunge it into something like convergence. Let me just have a look and see convergence. Because something that you've got to make sure you pay attention to is the Ethereum price of things. Okay, now Ethereum has gone down to 2,300, right? So let me have a look and see how much more advantageous it is buying in Ethereum than buying in fiat. When it eventually loads up. Come on, come on. Let me try again. But thank you very much for your question and your contribution, Relax and Heal. $100 is quite insane. That deserves a... Woo! Big fish, little fish, cardboard box. Right, okay, so let me have a look at the ETH position then. I imagine that this is going to be really good for... Look, it's virtually the same. Like, although the price has gone down, like, actually... Like, as far as the Ethereum price is... It's actually higher to buy in Ethereum than it is to buy in fiat. So it just goes to show that actually, you know, Ethereum has tanked drastically and its purchasing power is actually very weak right now. Like, what you want ideally is for the ETH line to be below the fiat line, in which case... Actually, it's advantageous to buy with ETH, but it's not really at the moment. And when I bought the other day, was about here, I think. It was a case that actually buying with ETH was more advantageous than buying with fiat, right? In which case, I was actually doing better off buying with ETH at that particular time. Now it isn't so much. But anyway, yeah. So this, when I see minus 44%, I don't see that's horrible. I actually see it as opportunity, right? An ability to take a advantageous position in anticipation of a coming move. But some of these prices are just ridiculous, like Refinable, BSC pad 89. Basically, it's 8,900 now to have a platinum. It's just absurd. Let me just rejig this again. So DFIN, Convergence, Gero Wallet, Kickpad. That is just ridiculous. Some of these have gone down so dramatically. Look, they've hidden it. They've hidden it. Let me just... Yeah, I don't know why they keep doing that. Anyway, I've made it public again. Right, let's have a look at the shitcoin list and see how these are doing. Incidentally, what's this? Oh. How do you manage your portfolio when you have multiple coins, different buy prices, and multiple exit strategies? Very, very easy. It's very, very easy. Like, I know what price equals my exit point for each cryptocurrency. So it's very, very easy to just know when to sell. And you know what your buy price will be, and based on what kind of multiplier potential it's got for it, can you calculate what the exit price will be. So it's actually very easy, Dave, in my opinion. The only thing that's not easy is keeping on top of that updates. So I try and make a special effort to retweet some of the developments going on. Suppo, what thoughts do we still have little more to dip? I think it's just going to be a very, very uncertain time for potentially a week, couple of weeks. I'm patient to hold. At the end of the day, you don't know quite when the button's going to be pressed and what's going to make it happen. Like, typically, it's a big event that makes something happen. You know, like, for instance, what kind of caused some of this was China Third and Elon Musk's texts. And then what will counter it is typically something for the upside. And in that interim period, there will be some uncertainty where people are going to be slightly undecided on which way they think the market's going to fall. But typically, there will be an event either way, which will be the catalyst to which way it moves ultimately. Getting quite a few super chats, but unfortunately my YouTube is playing up somewhat, so it's harder to see. Oh, bear with me. I think I've caught up. Or have I? Saverns just bought lots of cover at 3.5 just now, hoping I will retire from dentistry. Dentistry, nice, nice. I'm thinking my sister may want to do very similar. She's a dentist. And she bought her Bitcoin bags at 3,000 to 5,000. So that was an incredible move on her part. Tao Seif, Soulstar, do you think it's a good time to buy it? Is it out? Is Soulstarter out? Can't be. No, it's not out. I would be very surprised if Soulstarter brought out their Solana launchpad. Speaking of which, Happy actually announced a partnership with Solana and a launchpad, which I forget the name of, begins with a B. And that is marvellous. So I'm going to bring that up another time. But even with that going on, nothing escapes. You know, if things are starting to go down, nothing escapes. Suppo, you are awesome, a student and teacher of promising ventures. From almost day one, you have been explaining the space being a student yourself. Now you have more knowledge than you even know. Thanks for all you do. Larry, I really appreciate your positive vibes there. I really appreciate that. And yes, as far as I'm concerned, I am always learning. Like, cryptocurrency provides the best learning experience. It provides the best learning experience about yourself, about life, and about your own personal emotions. And what it takes to succeed. Like, what I have found in cryptocurrency is actually it's not far removed from other, from life and how to succeed in life. Like, despite cryptocurrency, being so easy to acquire versus, stocks and everything, that actually the same components to succeed in life are replicated in terms of how you succeed in cryptocurrency. In that, you've got to have an open mind, you've got to be determined, have patience, you've got to analyze things, and you've got to work hard. Like, something that I realize is that the people that do worst are the people that don't put the effort in. The people who perhaps, watch others or go to others for tips or others for recommendations and saying, oh, what shall I buy? What shall I buy? That's why when people say, what shall I buy? I don't like to answer the question, because that's just giving an answer to someone who's going to take that answer and invest, not because they have any personal connection, have done any research, understand what they're getting into, are going to invest in it, and they're probably going to drop it at the first sign of trouble, which is what we are having right now. The first sign of trouble, people sell. Right? So I am always learning, and I realize that if you do the work, then you will reap the rewards. I am extremely successful in cryptocurrency, and the reason for that is because I have worked incredibly hard. I have suffered, I've gone through pain, I have found challenging times, and everything has been a step to higher growth and a higher self. And every time I achieve a higher self, I get better results. And that would have all been eradicated if I fell at the first hurdle. So you've got to persevere. You've got to keep trying to win the game. Beat the competitors. That's what you've got to do. You bring a sense of calm and rationality when we all need it. From Ashton Christopher. Thank you very much. You're the best. Thank you for everything you do. I really, really do appreciate that, Ashton. I think that the cryptocurrency space benefits from being a community like ours, a community in which we bring each other up, we're positive, we look at it as a business. We look at it as we need to zero in on certain qualities, we need to invest in certain qualities. Other people see, they play the game differently, they go for the shit coins, and there's no problem with that. I got into a coin last night called Golden Shiba. I haven't looked at the price recently, actually. But, we all have our own strategies for making money. Sometimes we prefer the fundamental coins, but actually every now and again have a little flutter. Because why the hell not? And Golden Shiba actually went up dramatically. And then I don't know if it has recently, but I saw earlier in correspondence with Bitcoin, it did go down a bit. Hey, Super, could you give me your strategy on launch if you would have gotten into Mina? Probably sold it, pretty much initially. What happens in cryptocurrency is the first 2 days are the most parabolic for a cryptocurrency. For instance, polkadot lately. DFYN also. Many of the promising cryptocurrencies tend to have their most bullish days in the first couple of days after launch. And then after that, it is a period of, it tends to go downhill from there. Because people will have missed out on the best chances to sell, and then they sell at what they perceive to be the second best chances. So look, we've got DFYN. Gero, which went up dramatically. The other day was nearly $1. PolkaSwap is 34 cents. Now, PolkaSwap, this went up to what, 90 cents the other day, like when it came out, and I was like, this is too high. This is way too high to buy now. Way too high. And this went up to like 85 cents, I'm sure, or something thereabouts. And yeah, here we are. Like 90 cents this went up to. I forget what I was what question I was answering there. Yes, but anyway, yeah, that's yeah. So anyway, so when this came out, this shot up. Look, it started where we kind of are now, about low 30s zone, and then in like basically 2 days after its launch, it achieved its all-time high of $86, 86 cents. So, and then after that, it has basically lost 4x on that, 4x on that. So typically it won't have this bad luck where it'll come out in a very bearish period, but that is what I would do. I would probably sell my initial and then perhaps buy back down lower. Right, people, if we could, I would be extremely grateful, because we got tons of you online right now, if you could literally opposite my face is this like button. If we can get up to 400 likes, then you are willing cryptocurrency to go up. It worked the other day. It cannot be denied that it didn't. It worked. What happened is at 35k, every like pushed it up to 43. So let's get it going. Right. So, yes, let's see if we can push that price up through the power of positive thought. I am confident it will happen. Look, we're already at 3,599. It's going up to 336. Let's bring it up with those likes. Right, Mbata Virus. Hey, Suppo, it seems that the last Coinbase Ventures invested on was Neos. Do you think 90 cents is a bulletproof price? IDO price is 12 cents. Let's have a gander. See, the likes have slowed down and the price has started to slow down. So, honestly, the likes equals higher prices. Let's have a look at Neos. $0.94. And has been $1.44. This has crashed. Is it bulletproof? I think that this is quite possibly the time when everything that felt bulletproof actually is like transparent proof. Like what felt like a metal shield protecting you from bullets has now just turned into a transparent vest where you essentially will just get shot right through. It's in this range that you'll probably be able to find the bulletproof prices, but this has been, as of the last 7 days, this is so extremely low. Like the dump in this has been astronomical, like 260, insane. I don't necessarily think it's currently bulletproof. Could be more to go. Let's have a look at the all-time. 90 days. It's not been out very long, has it? 47 cents. So it's 2x up of... If you think about it, it's 72% from its all-time high, but 95% up on its all-time low. In which case, it could probably find lower lows, possibly. Probably not go that low, but probably be eyeing up around about 80, 85 cents. GDT looking at a bulletproof price right now. Let's have a look. Gorilla Diamond. What the fuck is that? Is that like Feg or some shit? You see, as far as I'm concerned, I don't see myself as having taken a loss because the asset I used to buy this currency has gone down at more of a rate than this. In which case, I actually feel like I'm in a profit even though I'm not, if you know what I mean. I'm certainly not in fiat profits, but anyway, yes. So, anyway, I think that is it for today. I think that we are pretty much it. I think that we are going to feel a period where we are personally tested. I don't feel this, but if I was to retrace my mind going back, would be a feeling of uncertainty, scared, panic, maybe, and fearing the worst. You know, back at this point, I have to say I was not at all that scared. Actually, in fact, I was. If you watched at the time that video, which I imagine there's probably a handful of you that were watching at that time, you would have seen that I was just so majorly excited on the 15th of September at all these prices and buying them up. And it was just a period where it was just sitting around about this range. And it was just a period of just trying to get incrementally, every coin differed. Like on one day, like today, Convergence seems like a really good buy. The other day, something else looked like a good buy, and tomorrow something else could look like a good buy, right? And it's just incrementally choosing these buy prices, and that'll probably be my next video. Is what buy prices am I going to be looking at for certain cryptocurrencies? But that is that's what I would personally be looking for. Bear with me. Let me just hide some knob. Only football stars made profit. I actually predicted that the other day. I don't know if you remember. But I actually said that this is the exact type of cryptocurrency that will do well in this period. Oh, no, it wasn't that. It was the football. Maybe. No, it was this one, I'm sure. Where I was saying that this is the exact type of cryptocurrency that could do really well because it's a new narrative within shitcoins. Like, it's not an animal, it's not this, it's not that. It's basically something else which could be brought up by one of the influencers in that particular sector. Just like how, you know, a lot of the YouTube influencers kind of brought up NFTs. All you need is like a footballer, you know, to like name drop and say, oh yeah, I'm getting into this. Because this is what I've loved about this period, is that there've been celebrities that have been trading these shit coins, and it's been absolutely beautiful because now they are going to potentially feel a little bit of an attraction to promote them because they've invested in them and it's on brand. So it would not surprise me if that is what helps the space grow, and that is actually what could be another catalyst to making the prices go up. But anyway, yes. So I hope that this has given you what I believe to be a realistic picture of where I believe we stand at this present time. And oh, hold on, I've got another super chat of 100. I don't know what that is. Dollars. 100 from Jonas Santos. Could you make a quick analysis of ecoin.finance, brand new project, waiting for CMC? I will have a very, very short look. Why not? A very short look. Ecoin. Hold on. Let me just make sure it's not going to take me to some porn site or something. I mean, I can tell you off the face of it that it's got literally a really shit domain. ecoin-finance.com. I mean, that's just shit. Like, you would be wanting ecoin.com. Not... anyway, never mind. So, or ecoin.finance or something. But here we go. The future of crypto. 3,000 hodlers. One of these deflationary things. It's a Binance Smart Chain shitcoin, basically. Let's have a look. Like, fundamentally, this coin looks shit. It doesn't actually look like it's anything. It's a decentralized deflationary BEP token that aims to be an online payment platform, replacing conventional fiat through integrated debit card. Yeah, it looks like it's like trying to be like the antithesis of fiat, like deflationary instead of inflationary, take over from fiat. It's just never going to happen, right? This kind of presentation just looks awful. However, let's have a look and see how it's performing if it ever loads up. Mmm. So charming. Let's have a look and see how this is performing. Whoosh, never rushed. Alright, it's on a massive dip. Market cap 785k. At least it's not a million. Rug check. What does that mean? Is it Safu? I've never seen this before. Can't really be bothered to look at that. But anyway. Yeah, it looks pretty crap. But I appreciate the... and it's certainly on a dip. Because this has been... Oops. This has been 5378. So 3578. So that's been roughly a 2x from here. So it has been probably about 1.3 million market cap. So it's currently on a dip. But it looks crap. And it doesn't have that memeable factor. Anyway, people, that is... I think, I imagine that's my last super chat. Yes, I think that is my last super chat. So I'm going to make a move now. But thank you very much all for being here. I've really appreciated your attendance. And I hope that you are feeling somewhat better about the situation. You know, ultimately, I'm a speculator. Most people are speculators. I'm not going to be a person that says, this is going to happen, this is not going to happen. All I can say is, from my personal experience point of view, is that this is how I foresee it playing out, which is essentially that, you know, what has happened recently has been an anticipation of a big move. And the reason why we are in anticipation of a big move is because of the fact that cryptocurrency has run away. The price of Bitcoin has run away. And the whales wanted to bring it back, or the investment banks wanted to bring it back to onboard a client that they can make a substantial profit from. So they buy at 30k Bitcoin, they sell it at 40k to the client, and they make a big fat profit. And of course, then they make the commission payments from that said client. So that is what happened all the way back in 2017, and it's what I believe is going to happen this time. But does that mean it's definitely going to happen? No, not necessarily. But that's my personal prediction. I don't think this cycle's completed. It's not even done. And I think we're in a downtrend now, but I don't think that's going to last, not forever. It's just going to last for this foreseeable period while there is probably still money to be made from the emotions being felt. But if you essentially just do nothing or potentially buy, or just don't even buy, just watch what happens, then I think that's also going to be a good position. Remember Top Gear Mashup? You guys still talk? Yes, I talk to Box Mining. Don't talk to Crypto Daily as much. I did message him, I think a couple of months ago. But no, I mean I've been full pelt here. But no, we're all still friends and stuff. Anyway, love you all. You're awesome. You're brilliant people. And I love you being part of Team Suppo. And enjoy your weekend. If anything major happens, I'll probably be around. But otherwise, you will see me next week. But otherwise, it is lights out, all out.